Ching, ching, ching! Let me hear them dollar ring. Hello and namaste. Welcome to MOM Square, Money on My Mind. My name is Vivek Shetty. I'm an engineer by profession and an investor by addiction. If you and I share the same addiction, you are on the right page. Yes, the right YouTube page. And while you're there, make sure you like and subscribe, okay? This is my very first video, guys. And hopefully I add value here, okay? So that you see why you should subscribe and like the videos and whatnot, okay? So I have always been wanting to have a YouTube channel to talk about my investment strategies and share ideas and get your feedback, you guys' feedbacks and so forth. I invest heavily into stocks and real estate. And I've been thinking about doing this video for a long time. Today happens to be the day, and the reason I pulled the trigger on it was because of PSTH. For those of you who don't know PSTH, it's basically a Pershing, don't ask me to pronounce it, it's PSTH, it's a SPAC, it's a special purpose acquisition company. The reason and motivation for me to invest my money into PSTH was because of Bill Ackman, right? I've researched this guy. I'm very high on his investment strategies, basically, and investment methodologies. Okay, this guy, I guess I won't go too much into the details of what his background is. If you want to know more about it, let me know. I can make a separate video for it. Long story short, Bill was one of the reasons. The second reason was I genuinely thought that this is a $7 billion some dollars of SPAC. So the largest SPAC out there in the history. Okay, and I genuinely believe that he would go after a few of the major names like Bloomberg. There were rumors about going after Stripe and name it. Did I think he would go after Stripe and Play? No, because of the recent news. I did think that he would be going after, obviously he has always been claiming that he wants to go after a unicorn company and the one that's been in the business for long. Okay, so in my head I was like, Bloomberg it is, right? But then there was a little question mark there because Bloomberg had rejected that or denied that completely, right? Early on in the game. Then he very recently came and made an announcement that they're close to making a deal and they have been negotiating for the last 6 months, okay? And then WSJ drops a news today saying that PSTH is doing the acquisition with Universal Music Group, okay? For those of you who don't know Universal Music Group, obviously as the name suggests, they, it's a big name, okay? It's a big name. Their last year revenue, I believe, was around $7.4 billion. It's one of the biggest companies out there, okay, in the music industry. And I like what they do, okay, on a high level. Now, people, there are different sources which talk about their valuation. Some people call it a $40 billion valuation. Some people call it a $53 billion valuation. Regardless, 40 to 50, let's say, in valuation, okay? For some reason, the news dropped this evening and the stock started to drop crazy. It went down 10% on the stock. The dividends went down 20%, okay? And I looked at it as an opportunity. I was like, okay, I'm invested in CCIV. I'm looking forward to Rivian. Again, big into EV segment too. But I'm invested into them. And the Rivian, I believe, valuation is around 70 billion. And the people are expecting the IPO price to be somewhere around $70, okay? Obviously, the volume plays a role into it and so forth. But if this company that PSTH is going after is really in that 40 to 50 billion valuation, I do believe that stock price should be more around $35 to $40. Okay, how did I come up with that? I'm gonna make a separate video to give the breakdown on how I come up with it. Okay, but hear me out. So it dropped crazy. It went all the way to $21.50 or something post market or after the market close, of course. I was already heavily invested in it. I had roughly $70,000 invested in it, which is a huge portion of my portfolio right now because I was not planning on holding it for too long. I was like, sell the news kind of, strategy, make 30-40% out of it and get out kind of thing. But then I was also like, depends on who they go after, okay? But then it falls, okay? So what I do, I ended up putting another 15 to 18 grand into it and had an entry point, some at 21.5, some at 22, okay? So my average cost is around $24.50 and I own around 3,300, 3,400 some stocks of PSTH. Okay. I like to disclose this, okay, because I don't want you people to wonder, okay, what's his interest of putting this video out and whatnot, okay. Regardless of what happens with the stock, I'm gonna stick to it for at least a month or two because I want to see, and you all should wait to see what this company has done or what Bill has done in terms of negotiation. I have a very strong belief that this guy has negotiated a high percentage stake in this company. Okay, if you guys are familiar with SPAC, most of the acquisitions, they end up being around 10-20% ownership in the particular company that they do the acquisition with. Now, that said though, for a company like Universal Music Group, these guys have been negotiating for 6 months. It's hard for me to believe that the negotiations were due to the complexity with regards to the different labels and whatnot they were dealing with. I have a very strong feeling that negotiations drag on when somebody or one of the parties in the negotiation is holding their grounds in terms of getting a better deal for them, right? Which in this case, knowing Bill and his personality and his investment style, I do have a strong gut feeling that he is gone for a major stake. I'm hoping it's 40-50% stake in the company. Okay, it's $7 billion SPAC. Okay, and if it's a 40 billion valuation, one would say, okay, the math is simple. Where are you coming up with your 40 and 50%? But I mean, it's very well possible that he bought in pipe investors too, right, to get the stake. Obviously, it affects the value of the stock and so forth. But long story short, I feel this is a solid deal. Okay, this is a solid deal. The company is good. They had some 7 billion in sales last year, 7.4 something, and the year before was 7.1. So there's decent growth in sales I'm seeing, and Bill keeps claiming there is technology. We have the technology claims. So I do feel that he knows where he's putting his dollars at. Okay, he's not gonna leave us hanging. And at the prices it's trading at right now, around the $23 ish, I would still say it's a buy. A couple things, okay? $23. The low side is $20. So you're literally gambling 50% downside here, okay, with an upside potential of excuse me, no corona, I promise, with the upside potential of around 50%. I see that as a good risk reward situation, right? Even if it hits $30, $35, it's good. It's good reward there. Okay. Again, all the details of the deal are not communicated yet. Let's understand that first. We know who it is, okay? It's not as exciting as the other names that have been floating around. I get it. And I understand why people sold it, because paper hands. But what I see this as an opportunity, okay? So buy it. Buy in anything under $23 would be great. If you can even buy it under $24, don't hesitate, because here's another factor to think about, okay? With PSTH, after the merger, you would be getting 1 warrant for every 9 stock you own. Okay, that's big. Okay, that's a big deal, because the warrants are worth something, right? If you do I just did some basic math. It discounts the current stock price by 50 to 60 cents. Okay, depends on the price the warrant is going to be at the time of the merger and whatnot. So buying in at 23 puts you at around 22.50 or so. That's 10% downside risk. It's well worth it, guys. It's well worth it. Okay, let's wait to see the further details. Do not panic. If you hold PSTH, definitely hold it. Now, here's the thing I want to talk about that I've not seen any YouTube videos talk about when it comes to PSTH. As you know, with most warrants, there's a good potential to make big money on warrants. In the last year, all the money I made was with warrants purchases. Okay, I bought CCIV and so forth at like $1.50 or something. When sold it at like $35-36, I was stupid enough, bought back in on the high value. But again, I'm not losing money. I'm holding that, okay? And I've averaged, actually. I keep adding CCIV whenever I get a chance. Now, with PSTH, warrants is a little risky game, okay? You got to understand, the warrant conversion rate is $23, okay? And the warrants are trading at around $8 or $9 right now. I think it was 8 when it was trading at $21.50 earlier this afternoon or evening. The warrants were at $7.10, something like that. Okay, it's still high. I mean, put that in perspective. $7, then you pay, if you want to convert it into a stock, that's another $23. That's a $30 stock, guys. Okay, the upward potential is not as much. I do think that the warrants are trading at a premium right now. So do not chase the warrants, in my opinion. Chase the stock, because at the merger, a lot of people don't know this, but you will be getting more warrants. For every 9 stock you own, you get 1 warrant. Okay. So if you really want to have, a little bit of your, a little bit of the dips in the warrant side, there you go. You got that with your regular stock too. So once again, I'm gonna keep this video kind of short. I don't know. Maybe I'm 10 minutes in. Long story short, buy PSTH in my opinion. Obviously, this is just a YouTuber. I call myself a YouTuber right after the first video. But anyways, this is just a suggestion. Okay. You make your best judgment, research about it. The market's closed either ways. You got time to research about it. I didn't see any video come out this evening, which was weird, which is one of the reasons I was like, now to do it, that's the time to go grab some subscribers. Speaking of which, if you did like this video, if it helped you even a little bit, it's time for you to help me back, okay? Please hit that subscribe button. Motivate me. I have been investing for 4 or 5 years now. I'm an engineering manager at the place I work at. I flip homes. There's a lot of value I can bring on the table for you guys, for my subscribers. So give me that chance, okay? Show me the love. Hit subscribe. Hit the like button. Have any questions, suggestions? Feel like my first video was crap? Put that all in the comment section, okay? And do hit that bell button too. I think I nailed this. Did I? Okay. How did I start again? Okay. Ching, ching, ching. Let me hear them dollar ring. Go PSTH.